Good morning, good afternoon, or good night. My name is Bria, and I'll be reading The Barracoon, The Story of the Last Black Cargo by Zora Neale Hurston. And so far, I'm loving the book. Shows a lot about African culture and racism and freedom, and it's great so far. So hopefully you're enjoying and listening along, or hopefully you guys get into it because I'm loving it. Alright, Chapter 4. In the 6 days between my visits to Kasula, I worried a little lest he deny himself to me. I had secured 2 Virginia hams on my trip south, and one appeared before him on the following Thursday. I brought him one. He was delighted beyond his vocabulary, but I read his face, and it was more than enough. The ham was for him. For us, I brought a huge watermelon right off the ice, so we cut it in half, and we just ate from heart to rind as far as we were able. Then it was necessary to walk it down, so he showed me over the old landmark Baptist church at his very gate, where he is the sexton. Watermelon, like too many other gorgeous things in life, is much too fleeting. We lightened our ballast and returned to the porch. Now you want me to tell you some more about what we do in the Africa soil? When you good to me, I don't care. I tell you something. It's too hot. I work anyhow. My father, he named Ololue. He not a rich man. He have 3 wives. My mama say she named Naifon Lolu. She the second wife. Now that's right. I no telly you I the son of the chief wife. That ain't right. I the son of the second wife. My mama have 1 son before me, so I her second child. She have 4 more children after me, but that ain't all the children my father got. He got 9 by the first wife and 3 by the third wife. That when the girls marry, they like see how many children they can have for their husband. Aren't there some barren women? I asked. No, they all get children by their husband. If they don't get the babies, they go talk to the old folks. Then the old ones go in the bush and get the leaves and make a tea and give the girls some to drink. Then they get the babies for their husband. Sometimes a woman don't never get into no baby though. Kujo don't know why. In the compound, I play games with all the children my father got. We wrestle with one another. We see which one can run the fastest. We climb the palm tree with the coconut on it. We eat that, and we go to the woods and hunt the pineapple and banana, and we eat that too. Know how we find the fruits? By the smell. Sometimes our mama say we run play enough. They tell us that do. Come sit down and tell you stories about the animals when they talk like folks. Cujo don't know the time when the animals talk like folks. The old folks tell me that. Cujo like very much to listen. I said, I like to hear stories too. Do you remember any of the stories your mama told you? Well, said Kasula. I tell you this story next time you come sit with me. Now I tell you about Cujo when he a boy back in the Africa. One day the chief sent word in the compound. He want see all the boys that done see 14 rainy seasons. That making me very happy because I think he going send me to the army. I then almost 15 rainy seasons old. But in the Africa soil, they teach the boys long time before they go in the army. Therefore, you understand me, when the boy about 14, they start train him for the war. They don't go to fight right away. No, first they got to know how to walk in the bush and see and not show themselves. Therefore, First, their fathers take their boys on a journey to hunt. Sometimes it go and come back before night. Sometimes it 2, 3 sleeps. They got to learn they step on the ground. They got to know whether what they hunt turn this way or that way. They learn to break the branch and turn it into they can find their way home. They got to knot their long leaves so their folks behind can know how to follow. Their fathers teach us to know a place for their house and how we must choppy bark of their biggest tree so somebody else would go running can know it a good place to sleepy. Me make the hut many times. We shoot the arrows from the bow. We chunky spear. We kill the beast and fetch them home with us. I so glad I going be a man and fight in the army like my big brothers. I like beaty the drum too. They teach us to sing the war song. We sing when we walk in the bush and make like we go and fight the army. We drum talkie with us when we sing the song Ofu Ofu Tiggy 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 Bottom Ofu Ofu Tiggy 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 Bottom Ofu Bottom and Ko Ese. That means when the day breaks the cock shall crow, when the day breaks the cock shall crow, when the day breaks the cock shall crow, when someone crosses our roof we shall tear a nation down. The actual meaning is when we get there we shall make our demands, and if we are crossed, we shall tear down the nation who defies us. Every year they teach us more war, but the king Akion say he don't make no war. He make us strong, say nobody don't make war on us. We know the secret of the gates, so when the enemy come and we don't know their way, we can run, hide ourselves in the bush, then they don't know, see nobody, they go away. Then we come behind them and fight till they are dead. 4 or 5 rainy seasons, it keeps on like that. Then I grow tall and big. I can run in a bush all day and not be tired. Kasula ceased speaking and looked pointedly at his melon rind. There was still lots of good red meat in a quart or two of juice. I looked at mine. I had more meat left than Kasula had. Nothing was left of the first installment but a pleasant memory. So we lifted the half rinds to our knees and started all over again. The sun was still hot, so we did the job leisurely. Watermelon having ends like everything else, and a thorough watermelon eating being what it is, a long overstuffed silence fell on us. When I was able to speak, somehow the name Juju came into my mind, so I asked Kasula what he knew about it. He seemed reluctant to answer my question, but finally he did so. I tell you what I know about the Juju. What the old folks do in the Juju house, I don't know. I can't tell you that. I too young yet. That don't reach me. I know that all the grown men go to the mountain once a year. It have something to do with making the weather, but what they do there, Kujo don't know. Now that's right. I don't make out I know what go on with the grown folks. When I come away from Afiki, I only 19-year-old. I have one initiation. A boy must go through many initiations before he become a man. I just initiate one time. One day I was in the marketplace when I see a pretty girl walk past me. She's so pretty I follow her a little way, but I don't speak. We don't do that in Afiki, but I like her. One old man, he saw me watching the girl. He don't say none to me, but he went to my father and say, "Your boy is breaking the corn. He is getting to be a man and knows the secret of man. So put goats down or a cow and let us fix a banquet for him." So my father says, "All right." But first they don't fix the banquet for me. They have in Afiki a small stick on a string, and when they make it go round fast, it roar like the lion or the bull. They have three kinds. One they call it the he, one the she, and one they call it the dog 'cause they make it bark that way. No woman must hear this thing. If she do, she die. She they stay inside and shut the door tight. They put me in the initiation house. After a while, I hear a great roaring outside the door, and they say to me, "Go see where that is." Soon as I went outside, I don't hear it at the door no more. It sounded way off in the bush. They tell me to go in the bush to hunt. As soon as I go in the bush to find out what it is, I hear it behind me. I hear it behind me, in front of me, everywhere, but I never find it. The men are playing with me. Way after a while, they take me into the banquet and tell me the secret of the thing that they make the sound. At the banquet, they make me sit and listen with respect. They tell me, "You are just below us. You are not yet a man. All men are still fathers to you." There's plenty of roast meat and wine at the banquet, and all the men they pinchy my ear tight to teach me to keep the secrets. Then I get a peacock feather to wear. In American soil, I see plenty women wear the peacock feather, but they don't know what they do. In Afiki soil, a boy got to getty plenty secrets inside that he don't talk for he getty the peacock feather. That was the end of chapter 4. And I'm just gonna go ahead and go right into chapter 5. Chapter 5. When I get to the peacock feather, I stand round the place where the chief talk with the wise men. I hope they see Cujo and think he grown man. Maybe they call me into the council. The fathers don't never call me, but I like you very much to be there, listen when they talk. I like you going to the marketplace too and see pretty girls with the gold bracelets on their arm from the hand to the elbow. Oh, they look very fine to Cujo. When they walkie, they sling their arms so the bracelets ring. I like hear that. It sounds so pretty. One day, I see one girl I like very much to marry, but I too young to take a wife. But I like her. I think about her all the time. Therefore, I go home and say to my folks, "Be careful how you treat such and such a girl." They look at me, then they go ask for the girl to be my wife when I get a little older. One day, therefore, I in the market, 3 men come what's strange to us. They say they from Dahomey and they want to see our king. The king say, "All right, we talk with them." They say, "You know the king of Dahomey?" Akion say, "I have heard of him." The men from Dahomey say, "Then you know all of the strong names he got. You know he got the name Tengi, Makan, Fenkampa, a rock, the fingernail cannot scratch it, see?" You know they speak about him and say, "Kinny, kinny, kinny, lions of lions." Some say, "An animal don't cut its teeth, evil don't enter into the bush." The bush meaning the surrounding tribes who feel the sharpness of the homies too. This king sent to you and say he wished to be kind. Therefore you must send him the half your crops. If you don't send it, he make war. Our king Akion say, "Asti you king, did he ever hear the strong name of Akion? They called me mouth of the leopard. That he take hold on, he never let go. Tell him the crops ain't mine. They belong to the people. I can send and take the people's crops to send to the king of Dahomey. He got plenty of land. Let him stop making slave hunt on other people and make his own crops." The king of Dahomey don't like that message, but Akion so strong he afraid to come make war, so he wait. The king of Dahomey, he got very rich catching slaves. He keep his army all the time making raids to grabby people to sell, so the people of Dahomey don't have time to raise gardens and make food for themselves. Maybe the king of Dahomey never come make raid in Takoi. But one trader from Takoi go in Dahomey. He a very bad man, and the king say, leave this country. That man want big honors in the army. So he goes straight into Dahomey, and they say to the king, I show you how to take Tokoi. He tell them the secret of the gates. Therefore you understand me. They come make war, but we don't know. They come fight us. They march all night long, and we in we in the bed sleep. We don't know nothing. At about daybreak, when the folks that sleep get wake with the noise, when the people of Dahomey break the great gate, I no woke yet, I still in bed. I hear the gate when they break in. I hear the yell from the soldiers while they choppy the gate. Therefore I jump out of bed and looky. I see the great many soldiers with French gun in their hand and the big knife. They got the women soldiers too, and they run with the big knife and make noise. They catch people and they saw their neck like this with the knife. Then they twist their head so it come off the neck. Oh Lord, Lord. I see the people get killed so fast. The old ones, they try run away from the house, but they dead by the door. And the women soldiers got got their head. Oh Lord. Cujo wept sorrowfully and crossed his arms on his breast with the fingers touching his shoulders, his mouth and eyes wide open as if he saw the gruesome spectacle. Everybody, they run into the gate so they can hide themselves in the bush, you understand me? Some never reach the gate. The women soldier catch the young ones and tie them by the wrist. No man can be so strong like the women soldiers from Dahomey. So they cut off the head. So they cut off the head. Some they snatch the jawbone while people in the oh Lord, Lord, Lord. The people folksies the poor folksies The poor folksies with the bottom jaw tore off their face. I running fast to the gate, but some day men from Dahomey, they there too. I running to the next gate, but they there too. They surround the whole town. They at all the 8 gates. One gate looky like nobody there, so I make haste and run it towards the bush. But the man of Dahomey, they there too. Soon as I out the gate, they grab me and tie the wrist. I beg them, please let me go back to my mama, but they don't pay what I say no attention. They tie me with their rest. While they catching me, the king of my country, he come out the gate and they grab him. They see he the king, so they very glad. Therefore, you understand me, they take him in the bush where the king of Dahomey wait with some chiefs till Takoi be destroyed. When he see our king, he say to his soldiers, bring me the word changer, public interpreter. When the word changer came, he say, Asti this man, why he put his weakness again the lion of Dahomey. The man changed the words for our king. Acheon listened. Then he say to the Dahomey king, why you don't fight like men? Why you don't come in the daytime so that we could meet face to face? The man changed the words. The man changed the words. Sorry. The man changed the words so the king of Dahomey know what he say. Then the king of Dahomey say, get in line to go to Dahomey so the nations can see I conquer you and sell Acheon in the Barracoon. Acheon say, I ain't going to Dahomey. I born a king in Takoi where my father and his fathers ruled before I was born. Since I been a full man, I rule. I die a king, but I not die no slave. Be king. The king of Dahomey asking him, you're not going to Dahomey? He tell him, No, he ain't gone off the ground where he is the king. The king of the homies don't say no more. He look at the soldier and point at the king. One woman soldier step up with the machete and chop off the head of the king and pick it off the ground and hand it to the king of the homie. When I see the king dead, I try to escape from the soldiers. I try to make it to the bush, but all the soldiers overtake me before I get there. Oh Lord, Lord, when I think about that time, I try not to cry no more. My eyes, they stop crying, but the tears running down inside me all the time. When the man pulled me with them, I call my mama name. I don't know where she is. I know she none my family. I don't know where they is. I beg the man to let me go finding my folks. The soldiers say they got no ears for crying. The king of the homie come to hunt slave to sell. So they tie me in the line with the rest. The sun, the sun is just rising. All day they make us walk. The sun's so hot. The king of the homie he ride in the hammock, and the chiefs with him they got the hammock to pull me. I walk. The men of the homie they tie us in the line so nobody run off. In their hand, they got the head of the people they kill in Tokoi. Some got 2, 3 head they carry with them to the homie. I so sad from my home, I ain't getty hungry that day, but I glad when we drink the water. Before the sun go down, we come by a town. I got a red flag on the bush. The king of the homie send men with the word changer to the town, and the chief come in the hammock and talk with the king. Then he take down the red flag and hang a white flag. What they say Cujo don't know, but he bring the king a present of yams and corn. The soldiers make fire and cook the grub and eat it. Then we march on. Every town the king send message. We sleepy on the ground that night, but the king and the chiefs hang the hammock in the tree and sleepy in them. Then nothing don't harm them on the ground. Po me, I sleepy on the ground and cry. I ain't used to no ground. I thinky too about my folks and cry. All night I cry. When the sun rise, we eat and march on to the homie. The king send word to every town we pass it, and the headmen come out. If they got a red flag, that mean they ain't gonna pay no tax to the homie. They say they will fight. If it's a white flag, they pay the homie what they ask to them. If it's a black flag, that mean that the ruler is dead and the son not old enough to take the throne. In the Africa soil, when they see the black flag, they don't bother. They know it be taken advantage if they make war with nobody in charge. The heads of the men of the homie got begin to smell very bad. Oh Lord, I wish they buried them. I don't like see my people head in the soldier hand and they smell making me so sick. The next day they make camp all day so that the people can smoke their heads so they don't spoil no more. Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. We got to sit there and see the heads of our people smoking on the stick. We stay there in that place the 9 days. Then we march on to the homie soil. Kasula was no longer on the porch with me. He was squatting about that fire in the homie. His face was twitching in abysmal pain. It was a horror mask. He had forgotten that it was there. He was thinking aloud and gazing into the dead faces of the smoke. His agony was so acute that he became inarticulate. He never noticed my preparation to leave him, so I slipped away as quietly as possible and left him with his smoke pictures. Wow, that was really good. It's crazy, everything, like the different culture and what what we might not know. I hope that whole thing recorded because my computer just shut. But next video will be chapter 6. Thank you.